Welcome to Conversations with Celena, the podcast where we discover inspiration, motivation, and information to help you live your best life. I'm your host, Celena, aka Sunshine, and each week we'll dive into conversations with guests who share their testimonies, insights, and advice. We'll explore topics that uplift, encourage, and empower you to be the best version of yourself you can be. So tune in and let's have some fun while we explore all that life has to offer. Keep it smiling, sunshine, and let's go. Hey, sunshine. Did y'all miss me? I'm so excited to be back. Thank you all for joining. If this is your first time, welcome. This is Conversations with Celena. I'm your smiling host, Sunshine, and we are live to share inspiration, motivation, and information to help you live your best blessed life. So without any delay, I want to introduce tonight's, this morning's guest. It's Saturday morning. And I'm just going to calm down. I've had too much coffee, but I'm going to sip a little bit more. Because apparently I don't even know what time of day it is. So let's slow it down a little bit, Sunshine. I know you're excited to be live, but slow it down. So I'm so excited about this morning's guest. Her name is Pernethyia Becknel, and she is the CEO of Kingdom Legacy Holdings, home of the Backyard Garden Experience, Roots and Shoots Kids Garden Club, and Kingdom Legacy Education, Finance, and Family Services. She is a transformational teacher, faith-led entrepreneur, single mom advocate who helps women rebuild their lives through practical strategy, spiritual alignment, and intentional growth. Through her movement, The Blueprint Year, Pernethyia equips single mothers to strengthen their faith, elevate their finances, and create healthy family systems, all while growing where they're planted. Isn't that amazing? So with her signature blends of authenticity, prophetic insight, and real-life tools, Pernethyia is committed to empowering women to design legacy, walk in purpose, and become the leaders God created them to be. What an amazing biography. Let me tell you. So let me find my clap. So when I bring her to the stage, I can clap. This be so hard to find. Lord have mercy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Get your hand claps ready. I think this is it right here. Welcome to the stage. Miss Pernethyia, come on.
Hello.
I'm gonna have somebody in the background doing that because girl, I gotta be over here trying to find what a hand claps.
I heard that. The show is coming.
Welcome, girl, to Conversations with Celena.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Excited. See, I couldn't even get my words together. I was so excited.
You funny. Go ahead and sip that coffee and get you going.
I love doing Conversations with Celena, and sometimes when it first starts, I'd be so excited. I'd be like, "Hey, y'all miss me? I'm so excited to be back." And girl, pull yourself together. Just
You're in your element. You're doing what you're supposed to do. That's why you're excited about it. That's a good thing. Good thing.
I'm excited, and I'm so ready to get to learn about all of those amazing things that you do for single moms, to help with finances, to help women get back aligned so that they can become exactly what God meant for them to be. And when we were backstage just talking about it, like so many struggle to get to that place prior to the trauma, that place prior to the abuse, the disappointments, the rejection. You know, we don't know anymore who we are. And I was talking to a young lady this morning and she was saying, Sunshine, I just can't remember. She said, and I think it has to do with the abuse. I'm in conversations trying to talk to somebody and I lose my thought. Like I lose it before I even get it out. I say, girl, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And I've been there. And I thought for a season, I thought I lost my entire vocabulary. I could not process words. Thoughts were hard to come back. Couldn't remember information. Stuff that I knew. And I was like, what's going on? Yeah,
Right.
trauma does a lot. to
It
you.
does. And if you have never experienced it like that, you don't
You will
understand.
understand. Nope. That's
And
exactly
people
right.
look at you like, what's wrong? Like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
Like, I know what I'm trying to say. I know the word I'm
Right.
thinking about. I know, but it just won't come.
Yep. Yep. That takes a lot. Ooh, a lot of healing happens for you to get your memory back. Oof. I'm
I'm here
glad.
for it. I'm here for it. My memory is slowly coming back. For the parts that are not coming back on their own, God will
Hmm.
send somebody to remind you, remember? And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. So
Yep. Yep.
that's
I
why
agree.
journaling is so important. I got so
It
many notebooks.
is.
I got one of my big notebooks that I found that I liked.
Thank you. Love.
Write it
Love
down,
it.
write it down,
Yes.
make it plain so
Make
you
it
can remember.
plain. Yes. Should have added that in
Okay,
parentheses.
let's add that. So go ahead so we can learn what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, like I said, I'm happy to be here because I went to look on your channel and just look at your platform in general. And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful and thoughtful. So I'm glad that you were obedient to God and followed this call and to create this space, a safe space for people to talk and introduce themselves and share. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you very much. Thank you
Mhm.
for your time and being here. I'm excited to hear all about what you got going on because I'm gonna be like, sign me up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, for those of you who don't know me, though, I am a whole life system strategist. And that means that I don't just look at people's money and their personal situations in isolation, but I try to help them build systems and that support their entire life. So we're looking at your faith, your finance, your family, food, and even education. And when we start to look at our lives from that perspective, things start to take a little shift. And so my focus turned to single moms because I became one myself in 2022. And my goal is to help single moms and women just rebuild, reposition, and be more intentional about the vision that God has for them. I help them move from survival to strategy. And instead of reacting to circumstances, reacting to the bills, we learn to align ourselves with the vision. And that way, we don't have to be reacting. We can be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, so let's just use me as an example. So I've been like, I'm a single mom, but I'm not really a single mom anymore because my children are grown. I don't know if that still
Mhm.
counts after they become grown, but until they're
Nope.
good and grown, until they're
Yep.
real good and grown, I still feel like I'm a single
Mm.
mom. And to me, good and grown is getting all the way up out my pocket. So when you get all the way out my pockets, I'm no
Okay.
longer a single mom. So like if I came to you, and this is for the audience as well, like how do we get started? Like what's the first steps in order to get in our life together?
Well, first, if you want to be, I guess, following me per se, to access me through social media, my website is literally set up in a step-by-step format. So as
Okay,
soon
okay.
as you log on, you literally will see step one, step two, and you just follow that pattern. Step one is watching that first video and learning about what it is that you're about to step into, what you're joining, that transformation season. And then
Mm-hmm.
step two, you sign up for the email newsletter. You will get to download some free items that I have, PDF files that help you kind of find the direction that you're looking for. Mostly single mom related, and I'm adding to it as the days go on and God leads me to do so. There's courses that I have that are coming up in a few months from now, and just different things. So it's
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing things, sprinkling it throughout, and now I'm just putting it all together so it can easily be found by the masses. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's step by step format. But to get started spiritually, like I said before, it's just about saying yes. Saying yes, I really want to change my life today. Today is the day that I want to start and just do it.
Today is the day I want to start. And I
Mhm.
think that a lot of times when we say that we're ready, we feel like we're ready, but
Mhm.
we don't know the next step to take. Like that's the
Mhm.
reason that I was asking, for anyone that's new that wants to say yes, that was trying to get their life together. Your
Mhm.
intentions are good, but you can't get nowhere just on an intention. You know what I mean? You got to have something
Right.
behind that intention because your heart wants to do better. You want to do better. but it's the next step. And as
Mm-hmm.
a domestic violence survivor, I guess, um, I think that's the reason a lot of women don't leave. They know that they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be in that situation. But
Mm-hmm.
what's the next step? And people will say, "Well, you just need to leave. You just need to get out of that." Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Do I have a room at your house? Like, what do I do next so that I don't have to go back? Because if you go back, sometimes
Right.
it's just way worse. You don't have an opportunity to get out
I'm
anymore. So,
I'm glad you brought that up because being in a situation, it was approaching somewhere in there. I'll leave it at that. But being in that environment, it's still you really like you get to a place where you really want to change and you are willing to do whatever it takes to make that change happen. And for me, I was tired of waking up every day and deciding this and knowing that this is not my life, knowing that this is not what God called me to do, this is not what He called for me and my children. What could I do to make this different? And you get to that place, and when you finally are over it, I mean, when I tell you you've done everything that you could do while you were in it, you have watched your children cry, you have watched yourself behave outside of who you normally are. And when you get to that place, you're like, okay, no, now I have to change something. And that's when I made the move. So it really becomes a you thing. It sounds hard because you're actually going through it every day, but eventually the cherry gets put on top and you're done with it. You don't want to continue living that life anymore. And that's when you make that change. You say, I've had enough.
mm-hmm. And only you can determine when enough is
That
enough.
part. That part. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have that point. All of us. So
We do. We do. And so I think that one thing that we have to learn, you can't make that decision for other people. Your
mm-mm.
goal is to plant the seed, to show them by your platform, your
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
uh, your community events, whatever it is that you do, to say, listen, just because this is how you see me today, this is not how
Right.
it's always been. Let me tell you a little bit about, and people, they just can't even visualize it sometimes. Like, girl, you ain't been through all of that. No, we don't look like what we've been through, but
That's
trust
right.
and believe we've been through it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Believe
Oh.
we've been through it.
hmm Yep, I agree. Because when you see somebody and where they are, and that's why people really, oh, how can I say it? I don't say go hard, but they really try to stress the importance of social media and how, just pay attention to what social media is showing because it's not always the truth. So you have to be discerning about
Mhm.
what you see on there and if that applies to you in your life or if that person really is the one that God is leading you to be a mentor, I guess, in your life. Like I asked God for mentors about 2 years ago. I said, well, God, everything you've shown me in this vision that you called for Pernethia's life, who do I have? I don't have anybody in my circle that's doing what I'm doing. Nobody physically in my presence who's doing what I'm about to do. And so he led me to people, and a lot of my mentors are on social media, about 80% of them. So
Mm,
when you really want to change and God sees that in you and He's ready for you to say yes, always ready. Any day is a yes day. Um, Once you say yes, He's going to open up those doors. He'll show you where to go.
mhm. And then two, we have to be willing to invest in ourselves and find ways to do that because we are so quick to
Mhm.
say, "Oh, I can't afford that. I don't
Oh,
have money for that." You know,
ooh,
but
those words.
if you look at the amount of money that you're spending on maybe fast food, maybe
hmm
streaming services, what else do
hmm
we waste money on? Just all the extras that we don't really need.
hmm
I know that I ain't even gonna tell you no lie. I have Audible, right? I just knew I was
Uh-huh.
gonna be listening to Audible every single day, and
Barney. Hmm
I do listen to it, but I'm not getting my money's worth out of it. And I
Right.
refuse to cancel it. I'm
Right.
like, no, I'm gonna hold on to this one because at least I feel like that one will benefit me because you can listen as you drive, you can listen
hmm
as you cook, you can listen as you clean, and you can better
hmm
yourself versus the streaming where you sitting up getting caught up in maybe Sisters, or I don't even know what the shows are, Power,
Mhm.
Real Housewives. I don't even know, but you know what I'm saying. Just sitting there,
Right.
wasting your time versus feeding your mind. Um,
Hmm.
so just investing in you and finding the money, and stop saying that you don't have it. You do have it. You just need to reallocate it.
Yep. I just did two videos on that on my channel. And one video is talking about the financial side where we have to look at the things in our budgets and decide, okay, what is it that isn't, what's not working, what's affecting me, what's the hole in my budget. But the only way you can do that is by looking at your full financial picture. So then you take the financial picture and you go, wait, okay, so now I know what's happening in my budget. But on the other side, like you said, with having Audible, do I really need it? Am I really using it? Am I getting my money's worth? So, and for me, I would say, okay, do you have a system in place to use Audible? Because if Audible is not connected to something else that's tangible for you, then you won't use Audible. So you got to look at systems. At the same time, if Audible is taking money out of your pocket, like you said, you're not using it as much, pause Audible. See if Audible is going to be missed in your day to day. And in your case, it might not be, so Audible can go on the side because it takes nothing to stop a subscription and start it back up when you're in season to use it, because life is seasonal. God works in season. So every season we can't do every single thing. It can be on the list of things to do, but it might not be effective in this season, but it might be effective the next. So
And why do you feel like history matters? I don't even know, because it's like, oh, if I cancel, I'll lose my. What are you losing? I mean, when I call Verizon, I don't have Verizon anymore, but when I used to, they would just be like, thank you for being a value customer for 20 years.
mhm,
But they don't take nothing off my bill for being a value customer for 20 years. My
that's
service was poor.
mhm,
But so
mhm.
why is it that we don't want to let some people don't want to let things go? Because it's like, well, I've had it for 5 years already. Okay, how many books have you read in the 5 years? Make other people rich.
People become comfortable.
Huh?
You become comfortable, it's consistent, you become complacent, and the app's just sitting there laughing as they take your $9.99 a month. So you got
Lord.
to make a choice, a
And I
big, big
choose
choice.
me. Shoot.
That's
Ask
right. That's right.
Mike told me, don't get nothing else. Don't you get nothing else. I be like, girl,
Funny.
I got to stop selling her because I be getting in trouble.
That's funny. That is funny. Yes, we all got a little something, You don't be too strict, but you got something.
Mm. So I know in your bio, I read about the blueprint year. Tell us a little bit
Hmm.
about that, and how it helps women or couples, or how do you utilize that? What is that?
The Blueprint year started with a planner, and I have tons of planners, and I've been writing since I was a kid. I love the journal, put my life out on paper and see what it looks like, especially since I'm a thinker, so I constantly have thoughts running through my mind. So to get it out on paper was the best way. But when I did get divorced, and the divorce process started for me, and my separation was in November of 2022, I started to just plan my life out so that I could see where God was taking me, but mostly so I don't forget anything. So in 2024, I bought this thick, thick planner. I was looking for one that worked for me. And in that planner, you start by putting doctor's appointments when the bill is due. You don't want to miss an event. But it also started to lead me to structuring my year and structuring my month. And that turned into adding little scriptures in the corners. And, oh, this happened today. And God revealed this to me over here. And I would just start writing every little fine tooth comb thing that was happening in my life inside that planner. Just so happens, ironically enough, that planner went from January to August. My birthday's in August. And from January to August, God kind of compressed my life and expanded it all at the same time. So he compressed it so I could learn what to do with this blueprint year into 8 months. By the eighth month, my birthday came, and I knew exactly, he gave me the vision exactly for how to move forward with the last 4 months of the year, which led me to preaching messages at my church about kingdom living. So I did a whole 8 weeks. I finished out the year on kingdom living. And it was nothing but like God's orchestration. So that turned into like a series that I put out on YouTube, and it turned into PDF files that go with the videos. Like it turned into this big thing. And so when January came, I'm praying. I'm like, well, God, you told me that I have four pillars of my company. You want me to do XYZ with each pillar. I said, but how am I going to bring this for other people to follow and do? And I came across that planner again. I had put that planner aside because my August it was done. I bought a new one. I opened up that planner and I cried. I cried because there were scriptures. There were like step by step instructions. And I didn't realize that from January of 2025 to August that I was writing step by step ways to help other people, particularly single moms and women, to what God is calling you to do at each increment of your life. So now the blueprint year is me walking you through my actual planner, pretty much, on what scriptures do I need in this season when I'm first starting out. What does it look like when I'm finally free of the emotional withdrawals of dealing with my exes or dealing with some trauma? What does that look like? What do I do in January? What do I do in February? And I just started laying it out. So now things like moving at the pace that God called you to move in is important. Noticing when you have that free space, because we're always like, I don't have enough time. No, I show you how to time block so that you can see your free time and where it actually is. I show you how to make time for yourself, not just the whole self care cliche, but really, what does that look like? And what are some things that you want to do in your free time? Because our time does not always have to revolve around everything else. And one of my biggest lessons is learning that I'm the nucleus. And I shared that. I want other women to know that they're the nucleus. So you're the center of your life, and everything external to you flows around it. So you call the shots with your kid. You don't want to get fired from your job, but you train your job on how to treat you. You train your money on how to deal to live with you. Like all of that happens on the outside, but it starts on the inside of you first, the nucleus, and then everything else works around it. So that's the blueprint year.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that because it was all in obedience. And I think
Mhm.
that's the thing. We talk ourselves out of stuff before we even started because had you not
Mhm.
wrote in that journal, I mean that planner, you wouldn't have all this stuff already at your fingertips. Like you
Mm-mm.
were actually building your business and didn't even
Yep.
realize it.
Didn't even know it. Did not know it.
Yeah,
Did not know
and
it.
the thing that we feel like is going to break us is actually making us. Because at the time that you're going through a divorce, you don't see how it's going to benefit you. Like this is horrible. Like you
Mm-mm.
have to pick up the pieces of your life again. But as you pick up the pieces of your life, you're actually building the blueprint for other people to know how to
Yep.
navigate through those same type of scenarios.
Yep. And there's so many people I found going through this exact situation as mine, and then others are going through their own, types of trauma. But I've literally found my voice in this season because I spent pretty much, I'll be 38 in August. I spent 37 of 38 years in like this cocoon of absorption. So all the while going through everything I was going through, I was taking in all of this information, all of this data, to the point where I wanted to become a behavioral psychologist because I liked seeing how people's behaviors affected their outcome. But God shut that door, started classes and everything. But he shut that door and he said, no, I want you to take all of the things that I put in you because doing one thing will box you in. And I'm big on telling people, break the ceiling. Don't let life box you in. Don't let people box you in. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But I didn't allow that and I never was. This walk it's been one. I'm excited about it. Like how you feel about conversation with Selena. I'm excited about the many people whose lives are going to be changed once they walk this with me. And the blueprint year is not just going to be blueprint year for single moms. It's going to be blueprint year for kids. It's going to be blueprint year for the married woman because I believe I'm going to be married again. Like it's going to be blueprint year for men. So when my future husband comes along, he can blueprint year men's life. Like it's for everybody. But right now, I am where I am. And when God shifts things in our lives, and the blueprint year does begin for you as an individual. It's life changing. By the end of the year, literally December 31st, my whole life was totally different. Totally
Mm.
different.
And and it's hard for us to see that, but do you you have to ask yourself this question: do you still want to be in the same situation this time next year?
That part.
I mean, because that's when you're going to have the regret. You have to act. And I did something yesterday that I tell
Hmm.
you, I did something yesterday and I got up this morning and I recalled it. It was an email and I recalled it. Like, I felt so anxious about the decision. I said, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up, wait." But you have to feel what you feel, and sometimes just do it anyway.
That's
Always,
obedience.
yes, you're always going to have that uncertainty about it, but you have to
Hmm.
know that no matter where you go, God gonna be with
Hmm.
you. Like,
Yep.
it,
Yep.
if it's
Yep.
not meant to happen, it's not gonna happen.
That's right.
And I know
That's
we
right.
have
And
free
if
will, because I know I could already hear the people saying, "But you got free will." You do, but if you
hmm
know that you have the Holy Spirit living on the inside of you, the Lord, you may have too much noise, and the Lord say go right, and he was like, "Lord, did you say go left? I think you say go left." And
hmm
that's all right.
hmm
Holy Spirit going left with you. That's how I have to look at it. And so we can't be fearful of the future.
Right. And I think the fear of the future comes from not knowing exactly what your vision is for yourself.
And not even
When you're
who you are
unaware,
in the present. Sometimes we don't even know who
it,
we are in the present. We still trying to figure that out
well,
prior
that's
to the trauma,
the,
prior to the all of that stuff.
exactly. And I think having, because that vision gives you the goal, that vision gives you the blueprint. And when I did a message at church, I said, well, this is faith. And you take your faith, because faith can be the size of a mustard seed. And some pastors, they will say, well, the mustard seed is so small, your faith has to grow. It needs to be bigger than that. But the mustard seed, being a gardener, that mustard seed, once it takes root, it grabs hold to whatever. It doesn't need a lot of care, a lot of support. You don't have to give it water. It just grabs. And that's how our faith is. It grabs, and then as your faith starts to unlock, you start seeing God unlock doors because of your mustard seed size faith. That's when it starts to grow and spread. And you don't even really see the root system. In no plant do you get to see the root system happening. Very, very few things, a potato, things like that. But when that root system starts to spread, and that faith the size of a mustard seed, and you start taking off, God will show you the vision. So you're going to heaven praying for the vision. God, show me what you want me to do. He says, okay, well, now you seem adamant about this. You're excited about where I'm taking you. So then he gives you the blueprint. You're supposed to get that blueprint in heaven, come back down to earth, and start executing what he told you. That's obedience. And then when something starts to happen, the consequence or result, I'll say for a positive word, the result is, okay, something is happening next. So you start getting excited because now you see the results of being obedient. So you go back to heaven again and say, God, what's the next step? And that cycle keeps repeating itself. He gives you the next step. You get the blueprint. You come back down here. You execute. If you keep following that, your faith starts to grow. And that's the mustard seed. It starts to spread. And then, thus, you start to see your vision. So, in the natural, what that looks like is, okay, God, I see you want me to be president of the United States, for example. Cool. How do I get there today? I'm only 22. You start backtracking. Okay, President of the United States at 45. I'm 22. I need to go to law school or whatever, governmental knowledge. I need to be involved in my community. I need to network. You start building that to get you there. So it's okay if you don't know who you are right now, except I'm saved. I know Christ. But God, what are you showing me? And then God will show you the steps for where you are to get you to where you're going.
Hmm.
So that's how I look at the blueprint year as well.
Yes, and I had a conversation in like our meetup group this past week. And this might sound crazy, and I don't know if it kind of goes along with what you said, but
Mm-hmm.
we just had a loss, right? And I have
Sorry.
been saying that I'm gonna get things together. I'm gonna get things together for my kids, so that when something happens to me, there won't be no question. Because
Right, yeah.
the girl told me, this young lady told me that her family is fighting because this person want that and that person want that, and you don't know what the real wishes are. So we got to get the wishes
Mm-hmm.
written down, notarized, whatever you have to do. But
Yeah.
I started thinking about, maybe I need to backtrack. Maybe I need to think about what I want people to say about me at the ends of my life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
write your own obituary.
Pretty
So that,
much.
pretty much, yeah. So I want people to remember me as, and then start filling it out. And okay, well, if that's what I want, then what do I have to do now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds the same thing, but mine was a little bit more like things that everybody wants to talk about, but we all got to cross that path because we all have.
Yes,
And give your family the gift of preparation. So
that's right.
prepare today, because I wasn't. I'll be the first one to say nothing was in place, nothing was in writing, and
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to leave my family in that situation. So now I think almost everybody know what I want, but I'm definitely gonna get it in writing, because it's gonna be that little straggler that come and say, I know you're not about to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And who
And I'm
knows?
glad you
Everybody
said that. Yeah, right, right. Yeah, I had connected. My whole goal when I first started my website was to be like a resource website. So I wanted to help people like that. They don't have wills, they don't have trust, and they want to take their finances to the next level. They don't know how to invest even. Why should I leave something to my kids? But I wanted it specifically to help that single mom who didn't know. But of course, more people need this information, not just the single mom. But it seems like though that type of information is hard for us to have access to because of our situation. But I have a friend who I linked up with, glory be to God. She's now a friend, and she does that. Her company and who she works for, they help you create the will, they help you navigate trust funds. And I was like, this is perfect. I need to add you and your information to my website. I can't work with you guys just yet, but I do want you to be a resource for families that want that. And I teach that. I did several videos on helping people see the importance of leaving something for your children, your children's children. That's a part of the vision. That's a part of writing down the vision and making it plain, because no vision is too crazy for God. God wants you to think that way so that He can start showing you how to activate it. Okay, my daughter says she wants to travel to Africa, or she wants to be a millionaire by the time she's such and such age. Let me show her how she can actually get there, because if she believes it enough, I can show her how to have that, how to get there. That those types of blessings are available to all of us. Yes, it's going to be tailored to us, which is what we want. And that's where that whole free will you were talking about previously comes into play. But when it comes to loss, preparation is key, and it gives your family direction. So they're not scrambling, they're not making these choices quickly or in sadness. You want them to know what to do when you're going. I'm a big believer in that.
yes, with
So
confidence. You want them to know.
yes.
And you would say, some people would be like, but I don't even have anything. It don't matter. I had a friend say that their loved one's family came for the utensils in the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Mm-hmm.
wants utensils? Like, what are you talking about? Not like top tier utensils, just
Just
regular
in
old
general.
spoons, forks. Really? But
Yep.
people show out. People show out in those times. And that is so
Yep.
crazy to me.
Yep, have everything on paper. Everything needs to be on
Everything.
paper. And then and I'm glad we brought this up, because it's not just about having it written on paper. Because yeah, you can execute, the attorney or family member that you trust will execute your stuff. But your family also has to have the mindset, and that's where legacy comes in. I'm literally raising my kids today to have the mindset to take care of my wealth when I'm gone. God has already shown me the vision for my life. So I know that being wealthy is a big part of it. And so I'm teaching my daughters right now what that means for you to carry it on without me when I'm not here. We already discussed, we have like these little mini meetings where we discuss what we already have as a family and what will be passed on to them when I go. And if I get married, and that conversation will go in that direction. And I smile because the results of those types of conversations is hearing my youngest daughter, who's 6. She says, Mom, we're going to be billionaires. And I'm like, what 6-year-old do you know talks about being a billionaire? They might say millionaire. They might even say they got $20 and they're going to the Dollar Tree. No, my 6-year-old says billionaire. She says wealthy. She used words like wealthy. My 14-year-old, we were just in the car the other day and we were having a conversation. And she said, Mom, I when I am married, because she knows how I feel about their futures, she said, I need my husband to cover me. You know, I want God to send me a husband that's going to cover me and that is able to steward what we are building here. And we were talking about them and their own companies that they're going to have started soon. And I'm like, yeah, we need men. When those men God brings into our lives, they are going to be good stewards. They're going to cover us appropriately. And I'm like, what kids do you know in our circle where we are in our lives have conversations like this? These are the conversations you think you would hear in, you know, a wealthier family or somebody that's rich. Only rich kids talk that way. But no, wealth starts in the heart, wealth starts in the mind, wealth starts in the vision that you have for your family. And that's a part of what I have for my kids. That's what I want them to learn. That's what I'm instilling in them. And to see it starting at 6 years old and 14, I'm like, okay, mama's in good hands. So I get really, really excited about that part. But
I'm excited with you. I am so because the other day I text my kids and I said, what did I tell them? I called them my rich best friends because you know we
I
people got
heard that.
bit of saying, "Oh, that's my broke best
Yeah,
friend."
we don't use that word here.
No, and we have to be careful of the bandwagon that we jump on with these other people. So I mean, it sounds cute. Oh, that's my little broke
Yeah, but
best
you don't speak that over them kids.
friend.
Mm-mm.
Cute at all when you really think about it. No, you my
Mm-mm.
rich best friend.
That's right.
You know, that's what we really need to get into the habit of is having those family meetings so that everyone can
Hmm.
know where we're going
Yep.
together.
Yep.
Not be separated and divided, but hey, it happens so often. You find yourself building with other people because the people that you should build with,
Hmm.
you're not interested.
Right. Yep.
Because
And that can hurt the most.
my kids, you be trying to talk to them. I know their mind be over there somewhere about what I'm play, what next game I'm gonna play. Like if y'all don't want to be rich and wealthy with me, I'm gonna go find my new best friends, my new rich
Funny.
best friends. So
Funny.
yeah, and I leave them to handle my stuff since y'all ain't got the mind to try to do it. But
Yeah. Yeah, but you still gotta push for that meeting though.
they're
Still
coming.
gotta push for 'em. Good, yeah. And I'm gonna pray on that too, because I see what you want, and now we gotta get your kids invested in that too. And that starts like I started with my girls really young. Like I said, they're 1 6 and one is 14, so they're 8 years apart. So when she was younger, we were already learning about money. I was already showing her how to save. My daughter saved money like 3 times in the course of being from 6 to 14 years old. And then my 6 year old, she had her first meltdown at 5 because I told her the art, or taught her the art of just waiting and delayed gratification. I was like, "Sis, you don't need to buy that toy today." So she cried a little bit, and then she started saving her money. So now our sister has saved like $30 or $40, but for her that's a big deal. But it started there. So by the time my 6 year old made 6, and now my 14-year-old is now 14, it's like now we can have these fruitful conversations where they understand. Wait, mama's about to leave us a lot of stuff. Grandpa's about to leave us a lot of stuff. We got to be ready, and we want to enjoy it. And that's why I'm instilling in my kids now. I don't have to worry. So I want everybody to get their kids on that page with them.
So you can rest in peace.
For real.
People want
I
to say
don't talk
rest
to y'all
in peace.
about my money.
Yeah. Don't just go through it because if they don't know how to steward, be a good steward,
Hmm.
all of this that you've built will just be gone in a matter of no.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't think a lot of people know, but Walt Disney is one of the examples I use for that because he spent a lot of his time sheltering his kids from his wealth. So he put other people in place to manage the wealth and kind of issued it out to his family. So when he did pass away, I think his uncle, I don't want to give the wrong information, but another family member did have to take control of his resources, and his children did not have a clue on what to do on how to manage that successfully. So they kind of just did their own thing. And now, of course, we see where the company has gone. It's doing well, but it wasn't always the dream of Walt Disney for it to
Mhm.
go in the direction that it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important for you to show your family what to do. So I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, and it is hard sometimes because as you were talking about being there for your younger kids, I was just thinking like when my kids were younger, I wasn't in that mindset. I
Hmm.
didn't know myself like definitely in a poverty mindset. I thought that I was going to struggle my entire life and just worry. I lived fearfully thinking I wasn't going to be able to make it. I wasn't going to be able to raise my kids. Lights gonna get cut off, or you're gonna get evicted,
Yeah.
car gonna get repossessed, all of those things, but you wish that you could go back. But since
Hmm.
we can't go back,
Right.
this is why the information is so important, because you can make the change now. Like, you can start small, because we do overwhelm ourselves trying to do too much
Hmm.
fast, but start
Hmm.
small and then just see how it grows. And like you were talking about that mustard seed, we don't think anything is happening because we can't see it happening. It's like nothing is happening, but the seed has to take time to build the roots. You're
That's
not
right.
see it. And we do want things right away. And with you teaching your daughter that delayed gratification, that's amazing for her. Like, she don't even know what her mother did for her teaching her,
Hmm.
because we don't wait for anything. We want it right now. We want the microwave life. And if we don't
Right.
get it right now, then it ain't working. I quit. I'm moving on to something else. It's just, and so
It's true.
I love that for you. I love that for your children and your
Thank
family,
you.
because that's
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say I appreciate you coming on here, sharing this with us. I definitely want to get the blueprint. Like, I need the blueprint
Damn.
so that I can help my kids, even if they don't have kids. There's going
Hmm.
to be other people always that's in need, and that's what God wants us to do: be able to help others that's in
Hmm.
need. It's not just about you, me, myself, and I. And
Hmm.
if I've ever been in that mindset, I'm not there anymore. Like, I literally give so much away. I get in trouble with my executive. I get in trouble with my executive assistant for giving so much away, you know, and that's not just material things. I give my
Hmm.
time away to
Yeah.
people, but I enjoy it. Like, if I could just do
Hmm.
it for free, and they say when you find something that you will do for free,
Yep.
that's what
Yep.
you're supposed to be doing. And
Yep.
also, the thing that you struggle with the most, that's
Hmm.
probably going to be your calling. So if finances
Right.
you struggle with, once you overcome the struggle that you have with it, you can go help other people. Like the divorce that
Hmm.
you went through. Now that you've had to come out of that, you can help other people navigate
Hmm.
that life. For
Now,
me,
yeah, and you bringing up some great stuff because I found that. And I told my sister this the other day. I said, the more stuff that you end up going through, because there's this path in life that I believe we all could take if everything, pretty much everything goes well. The road less traveled, so not a lot of stuff is in our way. But when things do come, we do go right instead of going left. That's more ammo in your arsenal. And I was in the military for a little while, so we carried our weapons around, and you have that ammo in your arsenal, and now you just have more depth to your situation. So now it goes beyond books, it goes beyond observation. Now it's actually your experience. And you take that experience and you're holding it with you. And now that ammo is yours. And now you get out there and you start doing things for Christ. And it changes kind of the way you view things. And it also changes where God can put you. Because now you've decided, okay, God says, well, I'm gonna get the glory regardless out of the negative situation that you might feel is negative. I'm gonna get the glory from it. The enemy might see it like a downfall, but I see it like I'm raising you up. And so you take that extra ammo that you've been given, and that's what you use to attack these situations. That's what you use to change your mindset. That's what you use to bring vision into your life and catapult your family into the transformation. Like, everything starts to change when you start looking at what could have destroyed you, what could have stopped you, what could have impacted you so severely that you did not want to get up. You say, wait a minute, I got ammo for this. Wait a minute, I got this over here to take care of this. And that's when you start moving, you start seeing what God has for you. Exactly. So I love the idea of having more ammo in my arsenal. It takes me there. Yeah.
and that also goes back to it's all working together for our good.
That part. That
Just
part. Always.
like you think that that came to destroy you and it's bad, but it's all going to work together for your good as long
Mhm.
as you believe. Because I'm telling you, the mind will make you feel like you're not worthy, it's over. This is the worst
Mhm.
thing that could have possibly happened until something worse happens. It can always be worse. So we do have to work really hard to find the silver lining in everything because it is one. And most times
Mhm.
it's more than one.
Yes, yes. And
It,
God, with God being an overflow, yeah.
stuff that happened from your journey. You got this going on over here and that going on. I mean, just from that one, what was it, 8 months? From that 8 months, God has produced so much more.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. I'm sorry. I think I cut you off. I
Oh,
don't
no,
mean.
you're good. I was agreeing with you and everything you were saying. Because people look at their lives and they're like, I'm going through all of this. I went to school for this, but this didn't work. And I tried this job. But a lot of times that stuff is just things for you to grab hold and learn from. Take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there. Because when it is time for you to walk in your calling, all of it's going to make sense. All of it will come together. And God will say, well, this is what you were supposed to be doing the whole time. But now I'm a whole life system strategist because I went through all this stuff.
Wow. Wow. And then, so I keep going back to things that we should and shouldn't say. And it's for me first. It's for me first. So, dang. Oh my God. I forgot what I was about to say.
You got this. Bring it back to the Holy Spirit.
So you was just saying, what did you say again?
Oh, about how we have all these things that God's done in our lives and what we've done. And we're like, well, I wonder if this is going to be good enough. Going to college, is this going to work out? Wait, I need to go over here. And then God brings it all together.
Yes. So I thought about wasting my time. That's
Mm.
another thing we got to stop saying is they
Mhm.
wasted my time or I wasted all this time with this person, especially when relationships don't work or jobs don't work and they let you go.
Ooh.
Oh, I wasted all this. Nothing is wasted. I mean, I,
Mhm.
I could just go on. Maybe that's what I need to do is,
Mm.
girl, I need this. Let me,
Write it
I'm
down. Write it down right quick.
down right quick. And I'm gonna let you tell us something else about something you're doing while I'm right down. I told you this is live, honey. We do it the way we do it.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, well, since I got the floor, I don't
You
want
got
you to forget what you're writing. Talking about that wasting time part, we want people to continue to like push on. When we talk about wasting time, are things that we just shouldn't say, like being broke and I'm never gonna do this and this no doesn't work for me, or my mom and my grandma did it, so it's okay. I remember my sister telling me about a lady that she was caring for. She's an older lady, and she had some cheese that was rotting in her refrigerator. Now the whole cheese hadn't rotted yet, but a piece of it did. And she was like, well, let me toss this out. Let me throw this away for you. And she told her, oh, no, 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 don't throw it away. Just cut off the part that's bad. And I'm going to keep that cheese. Huh? And I immediately thought about all the old people that I know that do the same thing. And she was like, well, that's what I did when I was a kid. And that right there, she said, because it didn't hurt her mama, it didn't hurt her grandma, so it's not going to hurt her. And I said, Lord have mercy. That thought right there is what keeps us from elevating. When we look at things saying it's wasting our time, it still keeps us from elevating. Every single thing that we have been through that is negative, God will get the glory from it. And once you start realizing, wait, God gets the glory from me doing this, and God gets the glory from me doing that. That free will, I don't know why I keep wanting to go back to us talking about that free will, but free will still exists because you still have every right to say yes and no to what God is calling you to do. But you get to a place where you don't want to. The wanting to do whatever the world you want to do and could do, it doesn't become a desire of yours anymore. You start to want what God wants for you because you realize it's the best thing for you. So that thought like they wasted my time becomes, wait, I learned. I know now. I can discern a mile away. Me over the computer. These people chatting. I can discern real quick because that's what I learned going through all of my life situations. He needed me to be that way for wherever he's about to take me next. I'm only 38. I got plenty of years left. So everything that he is taking us through and allowed us to go through is all going to come together and make sense. And then help somebody else on top of it because God works in overflow.
Mhm. Mhm. And it won't be just one person because we
No,
that's another thing we say too. If I could just help one person, no, you're gonna help more than one person.
exactly.
If you help
Exactly.
one person, that one person gonna go help some more people. That's gonna go help some more people, and it all started because you helped that one person. So I don't even
Hmm.
really say that anymore. I started out with that
Yes.
one person thing, but that's not my mentality
Hmm.
anymore. Like the stuff that I have been through, I want it. I
Hmm.
expect it to help
Hmm.
millions of people.
There you go.
Have to walk in it with confidence. And some days
Hmm.
I feel confident, and other days not so much. And
Yes,
it's
okay.
yeah, and it's just like because you don't really know how to navigate some of it sometimes.
Hmm. I agree
Because
with that
most
part.
things that we do that include and involve other people is going to have a consequence.
Hmm.
Saying
Hmm.
that because it is a negative consequence, but you're also going to have that positive of the
Yes.
people that you help, even if
Yes.
it hurts a couple people. That's not your intent, but hey, I didn't do it. You did it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
sometimes too, that negative, the stuff that people got hurt by, usually is because it triggered something in them. It made them have to reassess themselves, look deeper. And on my platform, it's growing. My YouTube is growing. And I look at the comments that come every now and then, and sometimes people I guess sometimes people aren't certain. So they just say really, really dumb things. And you gotta teach them, but in the positive, Christ loving way, or lead them to where they can find that information in the right way. Um, because like you said, we want to reach as many people as God allows us to reach. And by saying, we're reaching one person, that I think there was a phrase out, I can't remember right off the bat, but it referred to just like reaching one person. And when you're looking at elevating your vision, that could cap it by saying, "Oh, I'm only going to reach one," because you'll literally walk into a room full of women that you're supposed to minister to. And yes, it's okay with saying that one woman will walk out of this room with the knowledge that they can use to transform their lives. But I want to reach as many people in this room as I can with this. And I know it's going to be more than one because God covers and God is in control and God is spirit. So he's covering this entire room. So you can start walking confidently in the fact that what you're doing, since it's called for you to do it, that more than one person is going to be reached. And we see that on social media. We see that when we put a post out, or we put a reel out on Instagram, or we put a video on YouTube, how many people view it within the first few minutes. That number, if it's a really good, catchy video, it's going to go. If God blows his breath on that video, it goes viral in a heartbeat. Like there's just these moments that we have in our lives where it's going to be more than one. And you can just believe it. We plant a seed, one seed, but when that seed turns into something to eat, inside are hundreds, thousands of seeds, even. And that's what we're planting towards. That's what we're harvesting. And we're out here to harvest as disciples. We got to do that with Christ. We got to let God have his way and elevate beyond just one. So I really am a believer in that.
Man, pass the collection plate because you preaching. Yes, girl. I love that. I love that so much.
Mhm.
Let me see. I think did you have anything else that you wanted to share? Because I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you too long, but we done prayed and we're gonna let the Lord have his way. So whatever it is that you feel like is on your heart that you want to say, you have shared a lot with us today. You can see by the comments that people are loving what you're giving.
Mhm. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yes, girl, I appreciate you so much.
No problem. No, the only thing I'm going to share is that this is a movement of God, and it's been confirmed because I'm not the only one doing it. You're doing it, obviously, showing people the transformation from where you were back then to now. And then God is moving, and we can feel it across the atmosphere with things just shifting in the government, shifting in the systems as we know it. And I guess that's why that whole life system strategist thing comes into play for me personally, because I've been led to just change the systems, help people see the system for what it is, and then see the system that God actually wants to implement into the earth, that kingdom system. So we're living on an elevated plane right now, and I want people to experience that fully. So that's why the blueprint year started. And like you can access all of this information on my website. My name is right there. So you just add the www.pernethyia.com and you can find me. Um, There's lots of ways. I'm on social media on all the platforms. I don't know if Selena has all of that already, but it's on all of the platforms. And I'm just helping people and guiding them into what that transformation looks like, what that walk looks like, how to change their lives, especially my single moms and women. And because I want you to access the vision, I want you to know who God called you to be. And if that means moving at a slower pace, then that's for you. If that means God wants you to move at a slightly faster pace, He has something for you to do. It's important in this season. Then let's get find out what that pace is. I want you to see your children in a new light. Help them establish wealth. Help them become business oriented. Help them see money differently. Help them believe in wealth building strategy. Because this life is not, like I said, I don't just focus on money, on finance. Like it most people's financial issues come from having system issues. We're having system problems. And so I help you find a system that works for you, that works for your family. And then we work together to build the other areas of your life, which is that faith, that finance, your food, sustainability, your education. I help in all of those areas. So, yes, so y'all visit my website, www.pernethyia.com, and you'll see step one. Just start there. But thank you, Selena.
Yes, yes, yes. No, thank you. So one of my questions is let me put the website up here. Did I put it in the right place? I don't think I put it in the right place. There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. Yep, that's it.
Um, so you said a whole lot.
What you mean?
From that 8-month span that God was pouring into you, like I said, all kinds of
Hmm.
stuff was birthed from that.
Hmm.
But if you had to pull it all in and say, if you don't get anything else from what I said today, this is what I want you to take away. So it's your takeaway from today, what you would want. I got all kind of stuff happening over here. So if I'm looking crazy, y'all, just
No.
know all kinds of stuff is happening over here on my side because I had somebody get on my live and text me, tell my girl, fix your face. I'm like,
Oh Lord, that is funny.
yeah,
Tell
so
them leave you alone.
don't put that out there. Like I'm happy. I'm in a good space, but there's a lot of stuff going on over here on this side. So yeah,
I
so
hear you.
if you had to give people a takeaway, what would that takeaway be, girl?
I would I would tell people that starting wanting to transform your life today is free. It does not cost money. It does not even really take up a lot of your time because what you are doing is agreeing, making an agreement with God, with your mind, with your heart, with your body, with your spirit. And you are connecting them together and saying, today is the day that I want to see my life change dramatically. I don't want to be who I am right now. When I tell you this walk with Christ, walking this closely with Him, your life will go from changing year to year. It will go from changing month to month. And then He will make changes week to week. And then you'll start making changes day to day. And then it starts to get down to second to second. And when you start allowing God to move in your life that way, that transformation starts to happen quickly. And sometimes it can throw you off a little bit, but God is such a great covering that He holds you in His little pocket or big pocket, I should say, and He keeps you safe as He takes you through these different steps. So if I could say anything, I would say yes to the transformation. You can say yes being scared because God knows you're scared. You can say yes while you're depressed because God knows you're depressed. You could say yes while you have anxiety, while you're going through whatever it is you're going through, the trauma, the abuse, the manipulation. Still, just you saying yes is free, doesn't take any time, and then God will start moving in your life. Walk away with that one.
That's good. That's good. So how many people saying yes today?
Woo-hoo, let's go.
Yes. How many people saying yes today? That is
Yes,
a question. That
yes.
is a big question. That's a life-changing decision. And so I hope that if you're watching live today, that you can have some time with yourself and say, you know what, it's time for me to say yes. If you're watching the
Mhm,
replay, I hope that you
mhm.
can take some time and ask yourself, like,
Yeah.
today is the day. Today is my day to
Mhm.
say yes. Yes to God, yes
Amen.
to myself, yes to changing my situation, what I can do. And because we have to realize we can't change everything and we
Mm-mm.
can't change anybody. But
Right.
the part of your life that you can change, that's your responsibility to change.
That's right. That's right.
Because now at this point, at this age, it ain't nobody else's fault. Like you done blamed everybody else for so long. It's nobody else's fault now. Like you gotta
Hmm.
get
Exactly. Take accountability. Take accountability. That's
yeah,
right.
that's
Oh,
it.
good
That's it.
deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing was if you had a guilty pleasure, if you had one guilty pleasure that you think is worth spending the money on, what would that be? One guilty pleasure you think is worth spending the money
Well,
on.
I gotta talk in seasons because some seasons of your life you're able to do more, and others you do less. I'm gonna talk in seasons.
Okay.
When are your income is low, I could
Uh,
see food being a pleasure. You're buying like a little cheesecake or a big pack of Oreos. Food's kind of cheap. But as you start to elevate and your money doesn't look so funny anymore, it actually looks very, very pleasant. I take trips. I would love to be a trip would be my guilty pleasure. We did and my family, yeah, yeah, we did a lot of staycations, even if your budget, still your budget might be tight, you do staycation or you do that package deal at a nice hotel where you get in the room service and the massage and all that. That would be my guilty pleasures. I did that for my girls for Christmas. We had a package deal with Christmas stuff and the hotel, and they were just loving it. So I would want that for people. That's my
Girl, I
guilty.
love it. I love it. So if you ever feel generous and want to give somebody else a guilty pleasure
Oh,
package,
it's coming. It's coming. I did. It's
remember me because you speaking my language from the Oreos to the massage. So
yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So the other question is, what would be
Mhm.
your favorite scripture to pray over your finances?
Ooh. I would have to go with Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20 and 21, when God talks about doing exceedingly and abundantly above all that we ask and think. And I literally just made a post about that on my Facebook. So yeah, my
That question
situation,
came right in line then.
yeah, my situation is beyond the God is good all the time. And I put that. I said, nah, he's good all the time, but he's doing so much more. And I had to tell people about it. So that's my scripture.
Okay, okay. So
Mhm.
before we go to the last thing, I have to say,
Mhm.
you're correct. God is doing abundantly more than I could think or ask in my life because I had to pull my friend back in the other day because we had started going down a little pity party, right? I
No.
said, hold up.
Mhm.
Where we
Mhm.
are today is where we
Mhm.
pray to be.
Right.
We have to remember that, but we get so caught up in the whirlwind of what's happening, what's
So
wrong, that we
true.
got to be have that attitude of gratitude and speak. Wait a minute, hold up. God did this, and you remember God did that for you. Like we going back and forth. You got this, I got this, and da, da, da. And before you know it, we had pulled ourselves up
Amen.
of that
Amen.
quote unquote pity party because I can't even
Amen.
call it a full pity party because we didn't go
It
there.
didn't last that long.
It did not last that long.
Thank you, Jesus. Mhm.
No. And so we do have to be grateful for where we are. And with that being said, I jumped out there. I don't know what this has got to do something with my personality because I don't always think things through.
Mhm.
Sometimes I just do. I'm either doing one or the other. I'm overthinking it or I ain't thinking at all and I'm just doing it. There ain't no middle.
Uh-oh.
I don't think there's a middle really for me. But
Mhm.
I decided that conversations with Celena, that I decided
Mhm.
yesterday, we're going to do I owe her New Orleans on April 25th.
Okay.
Girl, that there you go. I see you getting ready to put it on your calendar. Go and put it on your calendar so
Okay.
you
I sure am.
yes.
Hmm.
Somebody made a comment. Let me see. Oh, Patrice said yes today and every day.
I know
Okay,
that's right, Patrice.
Patrice, we see you, girl. Um, so yes, I made this decision yesterday. We're gonna do I Owe Her, New Orleans, April 25th. It is also Conversation with Celena 6 year anniversary.
Woo, woo.
Yes, yes. And
Hmm.
so I shouldn't say, well, I am going to say I made a decision, but I was already thinking about it, New Orleans.
Hmm.
But because so much was happening, I really didn't have any dates on the calendar for this year.
Hmm.
And so, with that being said, I just want y'all to know that things happen when the decision is made and movement takes place. Because
That's
I had already
right.
been thinking it. It may not be perfect, but things don't have to be perfect in order to be
Hmm.
impactful. We could
Right.
get in there with nothing, no decoration, no goodie bag, just
Hmm.
your heart and what God has
Hmm.
placed. We get caught up in, and I do, I know I do. I hear somebody say it. I know she ain't over there saying that because she be like, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that. We
Hilarious.
girl, yeah, my executive assistant. But
My goodness.
we do get caught up in sometimes the wrong stuff instead
Hmm.
of showing up. Just show
Hmm.
up and God will show out. I had a
Right.
situation, it was I owe her, and it wasn't going the way that I thought.
Hmm.
And you should have saw my little heart just starting to go.
Really?
And then before I got too far, God said, get up and go over there. And I did what the Lord said, and it worked out. And we may not
Right.
think it worked out the way that we wanted it to work out.
Hmm.
It worked out the way that God wanted it to
Wow,
work.
that was the word.
That's all
That's
that
it.
we don't
That's
know
it.
what that shift in that situation
Hmm.
did for the other people. We don't know.
That's right.
Everybody not going to come back and tell you how what you said or what you did changed their life.
Hmm. Exactly.
Have to know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're either planting the seed, watering the seed, whatever it is that your job is. Just
Yep.
know in your obedience that you did what you were supposed to do.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You cleared your plate by being obedient.
You cleared your plate. So
I
that's
like it.
my announcement. Put it on
Yeah.
your calendar. We will probably have a flyer either tonight, no later than tomorrow, um announcing the I Owe Her, the Woman in the Mirror experience. We won't have the exact location yet. And we
Hmm.
won't have, what else was it? I think that was it. Just time and place
Okay.
to be announced.
Okay.
We know the date, which is April 25th.
All right.
Said, we go
Excited.
to our last question. Um, if the woman in the mirror,
Hmm.
the woman in the mirror, if the woman in the mirror could see you now, what would she say to you? Basically, your younger self. What would she
Hmm.
say to you now? I'm gonna put you solo for this one because I could see it coming.
Well, I like to talk in stages. So I have these pivotal points in my life. I have the 5-year-old me that stood out the most because she was the me just before the world boxed me in. And so she was full of imagination, full of joy. And she was just before I learned how to write, a big long paragraph of a journal that I do now. And so she was that innocent part of me. And then when I made about 16, it was just before you start to get introduced to fitting in, and the social norms and things like that, and they start to impact you and your spirit. So I have that version of me who was just starting to acknowledge or be aware of herself and how she belonged and what place with people, if that makes sense, and where did I fit in the community, in my world. And then I hit that 21, 22-year-old version of myself, and that was just before my life shifted and I had my first daughter and I got married, and my life just took that turn which I describe as my wilderness season. And And all three of them, though, and I've had this like spiritual encounter with those parts of my life, and all three of them would look at me today and say, "You have become exactly who we prayed for." And you and my youngest one would cheer me on, and the teenager would say, "Girl, you still a fashionista," and the 22-year-old would say, "Girl, look, we done got back down to our pre-pregnancy weight. We've gotten back into our healthy state of mind where we were before life tried to impact us and stop us and destroy us and break us down." I'm not gonna cry, but where I am today is because those three pivotal ages in my life were ones that God really poured into me to prepare me for all I had to go through in my wilderness season. And now that I'm here, seeing, oh, I get it. All of this was for this, and all of this was to help people with this, and all those things start to make sense. And it's because those three pivotal points of my life were my strength. They were what kept me strong. They were what kept my mind. And those were the times where I was closest to God, and I was free spirited and innocent in a way, and just the true version of me. And they were praying for me the whole time to be here, this to be the true version of myself that I am today. So they would tell me they're happy I'm here. We made it. We made it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I could see
No
you tearing up,
problem.
girl, because I was about to be tearing up over here with you because, honey,
Mm-mm,
whew, I know.
mm-mm.
But you know, when you're healed, you can talk about it without crying, but there are still times where
Yeah, that's
talking about how far you've come and you talk about how much God has done for you, you can't help but to tear up. It's not that you're sad about it anymore because
it's
you're
joy.
10 toes down in your truth, but you're just like, oh my God, I cannot believe how far I've come.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Tis a joy. Mm-hmm.
Woo-hoo. Well, thank y'all so much for joining. Listen, y'all know how y'all can help. Please visit Pernethia's website. It's on the screen. Please visit Conversation with Celena website. It
Mm-hmm.
is celenathomas.net. And then just share this video. This was
Please
really a
do.
blessing to me. We know that it was a blessing to you. And if you share it,
Mm-hmm.
it will become a blessing to someone else. So we thank you all
Yes.
so much for joining. And
No.
I can't tell you when I'm gonna be back next, but you know, that's just how I am. Y'all just rock and roll with me. Thank you very much. And until next time, keep it
Bye,
smiling.
everybody.
Hang on before you hang up, Pernethia, please.
Okay, will do.